Welcome, welcome. I wanted to do a quick little review and show some differences between reinforced nylon filaments. Now, recently I've been talking to the folks over at Matterhackers regarding their Nylon X and Nylon G filaments, because on their website they have stated specifications for their Nylon X and Nylon G filaments in regards to hardness and tensile strength. And I've been going back and forth with them because I wanted to let them know that not only does their filament not meet their own stated specifications, it doesn't print like a nylon should, and it also oftentimes warps so bad as to make your finished product useless. And what I've had said back to me is that I don't know how to print with nylon or reinforced nylon. Now, I originally started printing with Zytel filaments about 2 years ago and had great success with it. I'm a huge fan of Zytel. It prints wonderful. It has all the strength you could ever want. Layer adhesion is second to none. But in their infinite wisdom last year, Dupont decided to exit the 3D printing filament market, and they have since stopped making it, which has left people like me scrambling for a replacement product. So, what I have here is a few samples of different brands of nylon that I have gone through to try and find a replacement. Okay? Now, the ones you're going to see here, the Zytel is front dead and center. Off to the left, I have 3D X Tech. Off to the right, I have Novamid's CF10. And then over here, I have Nylon G from Matterhackers. I don't have any of the Nylon X prints that I made left. They have all gone in the trash. Products that went to customers because I had nothing else to give them at the time have all been replaced at my cost. And let's be clear here. Let's show this first and foremost. All of these prints came off of the same printer, okay? And the only one that I have factory set specifications for in Matter Control, because this is a Matterhackers Pulse XE printer, the only one that I have full factory specs already programmed into it is for their filament. And I'm being told I don't know how to print in nylon, and this is why I'm encountering these issues. You can see that's clearly bowed like a banana. There's substantial warping, and there is every time I try and print with one of their nylon filaments. And you can clearly see here, every other one is flat. Completely flat. Fantastic bed adhesion, not a problem. Zytel being the gold standard, you can see how beautiful the layer adhesion is. It just prints fantastic. And I can show you by squeezing a little bit here at the tension, and you can see how rigid this filament is. It's got just the right amount of give while still being incredibly rigid. I can take this Zytel part onto my wooden bench here, and I can sit there and beat it against my bench and just leave divots, whereas the part itself completely unaffected. I'm going to move on from Zytel, the gold standard, which is now gone, thank you Dupont, to the next. I tried to replace it with which was the 3DX Tech carbon fiber reinforced nylon filament. You can immediately see that layer adhesion is not as good. And this is through many itinerations and settings changes. This is the best I could get. You can see where I've had cracking here because of the poor layer adhesion. You can see that their fibers that they have interwoven into the material are much larger, and that's a root cause of their issue. But still, even with those issues, you can see still very firm, very strong. I can sit there, beat it against the bench, not a problem. I can take this 3DX Tech part and I can set a 5-pound weight on it and roll it off the front and have very little give. Okay? I have the Novamid CF10, which is the closest replacement I have found to the Dupont Zytel carbon fiber reinforced filament. Again, nice and flat. You can see the layer adhesion is much nicer. They're obviously using a finer ground carbon fiber reinforcement. It has every bit of the strength that I want with slightly more give than the Zytel, but again, ridiculously strong. And the thing I can say about the Novamid filament as well is it has all that in a package that is fairly light compared to the other offerings. And that brings me over here to the Nylon G. I tried and tried and tried to make the Matterhackers Nylon G and Nylon X filaments work in the Matterhackers Pulse XE printer, the printer designed around that filament. And this is the best I could ever get in regards to having it just peel right off the table. This is brim, raft, whatever you want to do, makes no difference. You can see that not only do I have the same kind of layer adhesion issues that we're seeing with the 3DX Tech, this is going to blow your mind. I can sit there and squeeze this like nobody's business. I take a 5-pound weight to the edge of this, and you can see how much that deforms. On the Nylon X filament specifically, they have a claimed fiber content, nylon with carbon fiber reinforcement at 20% reinforcement. The Novamid, on the other hand, CF10, has a claimed 10% reinforcement, and I cannot. I can squeeze as hard as I like on that and cannot deform it. This barely takes anything, and I can just fold it in half, which makes it useless as a reinforced nylon filament. Not to mention the warping issues, not to mention the layer adhesion issues. And I want to note again, all of these came off of the same printer. And this filament that was designed around, or the printer was designed around printing this filament, is the only one that has issues. And it's the only one that leaves me with a part at the end that's not even close to meeting my own quality standards. This is functionally useless. And despite bringing this to the attention of Matterhackers several times, along with the fact that every spool of this filament that I've received has come to me unsealed and required immediate drying, I'm being told that I'm doing something wrong with how I print their filament on their printer using their slice settings with their controlling software. Now you tell me, with just finished product, what filament you would rather use what you would actually trust for quote-unquote engineering grade parts. I will also note that because of the large amount of warp and shrinkenness, dimensionally, of all of these, this is the only one that I've had to make adjustments to my CAD file sizing in order to get it to print at size, whereas these others have all printed at size without any adjustment of the CAD file because there is almost no shrink to their filament. So I just want to throw this out there. Just a little touch and feel, little display of what we've got here in regards to filament qualities and what you get at the end, because what Matterhackers has told me, aside from doing something wrong, is that their nylon filaments are top sellers for them. Top sellers. And when you do a search for carbon fiber reinforced nylon, guess who pops up first? That Nylon X. And there are going to be a lot of new people that haven't printed exotic filaments before, that are going to buy into this line of hokum that they're doing something wrong, which is why their finished product is not what it's supposed to be. And I am absolutely here to tell you that this filament is garbage. It is Matterhackers in name only. It is drop shipped from another location. It is being made off-site. I don't know where. I don't know by who. But it is not made in-house in Lake Forest, California. When I had to do a return of my first 2 spools of it, thinking it was a fluke that they came unsealed, I drop shipped back to, I want to say, New Jersey. Now, a few months ago when I brought this to their attention, along with needing parts for the printer, which you can see is currently down again, $1,000 printer, I was told that I would get an RMA for my remaining filament, because I have here just spools of their nylon filament that I can't do anything with because it prints like absolute garbage. So if you've bought this filament and you're having issues with it, there's every possibility your slice settings might be wrong, your hot end might not be set up right. I mean, 3D printing is a fickle mistress. But I want to tell you, from someone with years of experience in printing exotics and in reinforced nylon specifically, that the Nylon X and Nylon G filaments are absolute garbage. Do yourself a favor, search a little deeper. My personal recommendation for a replacement for the reinforced Zytel is the Novamid CF10. It's not quite Zytel, but it comes very close. Hopefully, this will save somebody out there a little time, a little money, because ultimately, when you have a product that doesn't perform as advertised, the last thing you want to hear is that you're doing something wrong when you know for an absolute fact that you're not. Thank you.